Hi everyone, this is Marie Blue Angel back with another part of Obscura. This could be my last video with Obscura since I think I'm at the second half of Oleander's route here. I anticipate that the story shouldn't like progress more than that much more after this party that's supposed to be happening, and I'm very excited. I really like Oleander's character. I know he basically has a big ego and such, but he's very charming, and I know that's what he wants to hear, but like he really is, and I really like his character, and I really like Blue, the main character, when she's like interacting with him and the choices we get to have a little bit when interacting with Oleander. So it's been a pleasure to see the two of them interact and be like super humorous with each other and watch them banter. It's quite cute. But yes, I am dying to know what will happen at this party. So let's get into it. The party is being hosted in a mansion, of course. There is no formal government within the underground, but they are the richest and most powerful families in it, the lords of the marketplace. We go beyond the ruby walls to the center of one of the richest neighborhoods. The mansion is whitewashed, and light floods from the open doors and windows. There's several stories to it, but there's a strangeness to the architecture. It feels put together from disparate pieces, as though the mansion was expanded several times, and each was designed by a different hand. Well, it's nice to see that the good Lord Valentine is continuing his explorations into the world of architecture. This is new? The wing we're entering was not here the last time I visited, though in fairness, that was in another life. We pass through a gate and are met by several attendants. Here's my invitation, and this is my +1, Vigil. Welcome, sir. Okay, ooh! I like the look of this main room. It's so tall and open. That's what I like the columns and the arches. We pass into the mansion. The main room is open and tall, and at least 2 stories. There are balconies overlooking the main ballroom floor, and I can see some heads turn our way as we enter. A member of the staff approaches, and Oleander is quick to hand over the bottle of wine. Send this to Clarity. Then he directs his attention my way. Tell me honestly now, what's your drinking tolerance? I mean, honestly, I don't have really tolerance. Can I say I have some? I don't know. I barely have any tolerance. Like, I'm out after a drink. I don't drink much. And then now is not the time to start. Keep yourself sober. I wasn't planning on getting drunk. Let me be clear. The number of drinks it is acceptable for you to have tonight is none. Is that in order, sir? Sass all you like, but this is work for you and I. Just because it's happening while others play doesn't mean we get to fool around the same way. I mean, I guess that's fair. We're on the job. We stop loitering at the door. Oleander's quick to spot someone. Is that my favorite bell ringer over there? I love the belts that Oleander has and all the little accessories. Someone turns. Their mouth is uncovered, so I can see their transformation from confusion to happiness as it happens.
Son of a bitch! It's Oleander.
That's all it takes for significant attention to come our way. Oh, many people.
We missed you, darling. How has business been lately?
How could you leave us for so long? He revels in it. He's in his element. I have been pining away for these parties since I've been gone. Unfortunately, there was a very good opportunity waiting for me in the dust chambers, and I couldn't resist.
You went down into the dust chambers?
And it makes for a very good story. But first, he gently waves an arm in my direction.
I'm the newest vigil. Pleased to meet you. These feel like the kind of people who expect to be bowed at, so I give them a deep nod. Now I did notice you. I was hoping you would.
Oh, I wish we could see a little bit of in the character sprite, the dress, or the outfit, the red, I guess, that Blue is wearing. That'd be nice. I sway slightly, letting my cloak sway and reveal a little more of my outfit. This is a daring vigil, Oleander, not like your last one. I'm rather fond of this vigil, new though she may be. The last vigil was skilled, but not much of a social being.
Though I heard the last vigil found something very social to do for himself.
Yes, he did. I was disappointed to learn he was leaving, but I can't fault him for his reasons. You, on the other hand, he turns to me. I expect you to stay by my side for a long time to come. No running off to get a job as a pleasure parlor bunny, you hear? Is that what your last vigil did? Cool, if you want to be a pleasure parlor bunny. Puh. I like that almost alliteration. Pleasure parlor bunny. When do I take orders from you like that, sir? I don't know. Being a pleasure parlor bunny sounds pretty fun. What are you going to offer to compete? I offer you good wages and an education, and you demand more? There's some unique benefits to working at a pleasure parlor. Well, Vigil, I think these kinds of contract negotiations better happen in private, unless this public negotiation is another benefit. I can't help but laugh.
Oh fuck, he's found another one like him. You two are going to be unbearable.
No, don't say that. You'll make poor Vigil feel terrible.
If you're going to flirt with your assistant, I'm going to be feeling terrible. Spoil sport?
Oh, very well. Vigil, go and enjoy yourself. Enjoy a nibble or two. If I need you, I'll track you down.
Alright. I'd frankly rather stay with Oleander, given that I'm his +1, and he's the only person I know here. But I am intrigued by what kind of food gets served at a party like this.
Me too. What kind of fancy food is at this party? There are several tables laid out for guests, each of them unique. I pick one at random and start putting little nibbles wrapped in thin, crackling layers of fried dough on a plate. Ooh, that sounds really good. Like different fillings on thin dough. There's also a member of the staff at one end of the table with a selection of bottles. Stick with food. I am working. And also, I'm on the job. I am not about to go against Oleander's order that I not drink tonight. Work is not the place to test my tolerance for drink. That is true. I'm walking through the hall, just observing the people, when someone taps me on the shoulder.
Excuse me. I turn around and see a person in a brightly painted theater mask and suit. Sorry to bother you, but I noticed you coming in with Mr. Oleander.
I did. I'm his assistant, Vigil.
Elmwood, pleased to meet you. They shake my hand firmly.
What can I do for you?
I wanted to make a deal with Mr. Oleander, but setting up a meeting has been difficult. He doesn't have a consistent office, or anything like that, so you just had to know him or someone close to him first.
And getting those connections can be really hard. Someone in this party he hasn't met. Is that for a reason? Well, what kind of deal are you looking to strike? Might as well feel them out before I make any promises.
My business partner and I want to make a deal with Oleander.
You'll have to be much more specific than that.
He's an alchemist, or an apprentice, I guess. We want to strike out on our own, but we can't without supplies.
There's plenty of alchemists here with supplies.
Surely you have a network. There's a network, yeah, but only for the normal stuff. My partner wants to try new stuff, but that means getting other stuff. And none of the normal merchants sell other stuff.
Like, what other stuff?
Not liking how they say normal merchants. Do you mean more controversial goods? Yeah, those. Humans' teeth, critter hearts, blood, the gross stuff.
Mature.
Since the normal merchants won't carry them, we need someone to supply us with that stuff. And maybe give us a deal?
What kind of deal?
Well, Oleander's kind of expensive, isn't he? But maybe he could cut his rates for us, and in return, we give him access to the stuff we make.
Why would access to your stuff suffice for a discount?
It's gonna be good.
At least they sound completely confident about that. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna let Oleander, do that. It's better for Oleander to make the call than me. I can't guarantee that Oleander will make arrangements with you, but I can get you a meeting with him.
That's all we need.
They hand me a business card.
Here's my info.
It's handwritten, legible, but slightly smudged.
Thank you so much.
Don't thank me until you've got a deal. Okay, so will that be like the rest of the party? Working? I mean, that makes sense if we're vigil. I really love this music. With that encounter over, I continue my exploration of the hall. Care for a drink? Someone steps in front of me, holding out 2 wine glasses. What? Sorry, I couldn't help but notice you, and I thought this was the best way to break the ice. I'm Adonis. Oh, hello. Vigil. It's a pleasure to meet you, Vigil. Now, about that drink. No, thank you. No wine for me, but thank you for your offer. Are you sure? It's quite good. He sips from his own glass. I'm sure. Very well, then. He places the glass on the tray of a passing staff member and smirks. With his mouth exposed, I can see his handsome crookedness in his smile. And what was that about catching your eye? I confess, it was seeing a peek of your outfit from under your cloak. Did you just move in closer? Buddy, there's a personal bubble. That's a very clever way to make your clothes feel a little more forbidden. Well, I dressed to impress specifically you, so I'm pleased it worked. If I had known you were dressing for me, I would have picked a more daring opening move. Next time. There's a promise in the words next time. Well, don't let me stop you from your turn around the room. But if a conversation partner would be amenable to you, I could be convinced. Okay, turn around the room with a conversation partner. I start walking, and Adonis keeps my pace, staying close enough to me to make it clear we're walking together without crowding me. If random strangers are going to approach me out of nowhere, I can only hope all of them have Adonis's social graces. Well then, where are you taking us? I found my greatest joy in the marketplace to be wandering around and seeing what happens, and so I intend to continue that. Just wondering, surely a capable guide could give you a better time. Oh, I'm certain one could. My employer gave me directions to Satine, and that was a fascinating shop. Or labyrinth. Oh, good old Satine. What an institution. I'm certain you found something fascinating. Oh yes, I rather like my new rodent skulls. However, I only found my employer in the first place through wandering the marketplace. You're moving closer again. Well, consider this. You have wandered over my path now. Perhaps I'm like your employer, someone who can provide another map to the market.
I'm considering it. What sort of wonders would you guide me to? Adonis begins talking quickly and with enthusiasm for the food of the underground. Every kind of person lives under the mountain, and they have brought every type of cuisine with them. Okay, foodie maybe. And then there are business agreements and marriages, and suddenly, there are new combinations of flavors. I think it's fair to say that he likes his food. As we continue talking, he subtly begins taking the lead in our stroll. He brings us down a hallway and away from the main room, and then through one of the many doors. Okay, where are we? It looks like a library. The light here is lower, and the sound is muted. It takes a moment, but I recognize the room as a library. The faint hissing of whispered voices confirms that we are not alone here, even if I cannot see any other guests. Ah, this is nice. What is this? What is it nice for? Sneaking around, getting into mischief. Everyone loves a good library. This is a good library, I will confess. I love the library. It looks nice. I like the lighting also here. A soft moan tells me exactly what kind of mischief is happening, just out of sight. Do you want to take a seat? Let's. There is an alcove with a padded bench, perfect for a few lazy hours of reading. Oh, I love that. We settle there, and he leans in. Why are you leaning in? I can clearly see the fine detailing on his mask. Up close, I can finally see that his mask is gilded too. So, Vigil, is that what I should call you? It's who I am for the moment. For the moment. I am allowed days off too. And who are you on those days off? Someone else. He chuckles. A message received. I won't ask any more. But I will ask, what does this Vigil do on her days off? Tidying, mostly. Really? You should see the state of my room. I have my rodent skulls to add to the piles. He laughs, leaning in and bumping me. He rests a hand on my back, and the hand stays even as he pulls back. Okay, you're very forward. I don't I don't know. Like, we're also working. So even if this was something to entertain, you cannot entertain this option right now. And also it's very fast. Like, we've just met, my dude. But, some people, that's how some people roll. So, who am I to get in the way of that? I'd like that. To see a messy room? The hand slides up a little. He's being very familiar. To see your messy room. It's important to be specific about these things. I don't want him to stop. Tell him to stop touching. I feel a little less at ease with Adonis in this moment. Being a little familiar with me, aren't you? Fake it till you make it, as they say. Well, not this time. He takes his hand off my back. He's still sitting close, but him keeping his hands to himself is already a significant improvement. Apologies. Apologies. I'll see to it that I earn the right to be close to you. That being said, I wonder if you have a strict prohibition on all touch, or if you would be less bothered in a more private scenario. The sound of a rogue moan from amongst the shelves is a firm reminder that we are not alone in this room. You did offer to show me your room, after all. Well, even if he's a little too familiar, I can't fault him for cowardice. Very true. I'm working right now, and I'd rather not. I'm flattered you'd be interested in my room, but I'm not giving tours at the moment. Not even private ones. For interested parties? No, I should think not. He does seem to understand me. Then I shall withdraw my interest for now. But if that should change... He stands up, then he takes a little card from inside his jacket pocket, and hands it to me. In case you decide to get in touch. It's a hand-printed card with his name and an address on it.
Is there a secret password? He smirks wide and leans in. He whispers something remarkably filthy in my ear. Does that suffice? I'm still attempting to gather my thoughts. It's certainly unique. I'm afraid I must leave you now, but don't forget that address, that password, and you'll have my full attention. He leaves. Okay. Little side thing that's just happened while this job is going on. How fun. Well, that was something. His attention is either flattering or unsettling. I mean, it can be. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of unsettling to me. I know things are different in the marketplace, but even so, I didn't expect to be approached out of the blue like this. The best I can say for him is that he backed off a bit when I asked. That's true, but that's bare minimum. It's inevitable that I would end up in Oleander's orbit again, even if he wasn't my employer. He somehow makes himself the center of the party, no matter where he is. Even when he's alone, as he is now, I am able to smoothly fall into set beside him as he moves. Vigil, welcome back. Good to see you haven't gotten into trouble. Now, don't pretend to be my minder now. I'd be more concerned about you causing trouble. I've been having some adventures. Oh, enlighten me then. Someone who called himself Elmwood approached me. He'd seen us together and decided that the best way to get a meeting with you was through me. That name sounds extraordinarily fake. You're one to talk, Mr. Absinthe. He seemed earnest enough, so I told him I'd arrange something with you. I have his business card. Well, I didn't expect you to start vetting clients for me this soon, but I suppose I can't complain. Speaking of which, the card I received from Adonis is heavy in my pocket. Why would I keep it a secret? I don't know, I feel like if anything, if Blue wanted to entertain this any further, I need more details. And Adonis may be known by Oleander, and Oleander has things to tell me, so I want to know. I have a new admirer, and also, I don't know, maybe it's just fun. We're just talking. That bad, was it? I hold out the business card. Oleander takes it from me and his posture changes. Well, I may need to have a word with him. You don't need to on my behalf. It's not that. Adonis is a competitor of mine, hard as it may be to believe. He doesn't like me very much, but I will not have him interfering with my employee as part of this feud. You think this is about you? He may very well find you intriguing and charming. In fact, I rather suspect he does. But I wouldn't be surprised if his interest in you had something to do with being my assistant. He returns the card to me. I suspect you're not interested in meeting him again. But if you do, tread lightly. Now, are you going to ask me what I've been up to? Have you been flirting and deal-making and putting yourself at the heart of the party? However did you guess? You are, if you'll forgive me saying, sir, a bit predictable. He chuckles, the sound coming from deep in his chest. He leans in close, his mask brushing the hood of my cloak. Then he rumbles. Just because you haven't seen them yet, doesn't mean I'm not full of surprises, Blue. Okay, I believe that. Oh. I feel like I've just noticed a steep drop that I've been walking past unawares. As much as I'm startled by it, the adrenaline rush that also comes is thrilling. But how about a drink first? Sure, you said no drinking. Aren't you the one who told me not to drink anything? Oh dear, You've seen through my clever trap. How clever is asking me to drink after telling me not to? Regardless, I will have to decline. Good thinking. He taps the top of my head. It's an odd gesture, but maybe he's loosening up. He's definitely indulging in some drinks. You just like pat my head? Like Kier did? Which is so cute. Then, to my surprise, Oleander takes a silent step back. Before I can respond, someone has replaced him. A man, I think, wearing a gilded wolf muzzle mask with a distinct patina. Hello, you are the newest vigil, if I recall. I am. Excellent. I was looking forward to meeting you. I'd say the same, but I don't know who you are. Ah, yes. You can call me. They think about it just long enough that they may just be putting on a show. Wolf. That'll do nicely. Also, I haven't mentioned it before, but I really like under the character names how we have this like line separating the character name and the text for the dialogue and the narration, and I like that we have these little diamonds and then the dashes again. It's very nice. It's just a small touch. It brings everything together. I love it. Also over here with little diamonds. Oh, I love it. Pleased to meet you, Wolf. I'm certain that's your name. I see why he likes you. Thank you. Is that why you wanted to meet me? In a manner of speaking, yes. I don't know how much you know about Oleander's previous assistants. Only that the last one left to pursue another career. Well, that was an unusual case, but some of his assistants left when they founded trading careers of their own. Makes sense. Treat working for him like an apprenticeship. Exactly. And those assistants have gone on to be quite successful. And unfortunately, I failed to see their potential in time. So, I'm a business opportunity. Patron sounds more appealing, I would say. I think I could bring a few opportunities your way. And in exchange for that assistance, you might be able to find some things you could do for me. Can't say I expected this. It's an appealing offer, but do you need a response now? Parties like these feel like good places to propose deals, but not to seal them. He laughs. No, I agree with you. This is neither the time or place to make that choice. He picks up 2 wine glasses from a passing tray and holds one out to me. But you'll think on it, won't you? I have to decline. I wave my hand just enough to signal my rejection of the wine. No need to bribe me. I'd think on this offer even if you didn't give me wine. I would be an idiot not to take this chance. I doubt a patron can open more doors for me than Oleander can, but if I even have one more chance to find Lunar Ichor without him, I need to take it. But I'm not about to be desperate about it. Okay, thanks. I'll let you know. My new patron leaves and Oleander fills the gap as if he was never gone. Have I lost you? Have I lost you to a better offer then? I received a very tempting offer to become a pleasure parlor bunny. This line is so good. Also again, pleasure pa. I love it. Pleasure parlor bunny. But I remembered you ordered me not to do that, and so we renegotiated. Well, I'm glad I can trust somebody to stand by me. And now I have an important question. I'm bracing myself. How are you at dancing? I do the best I can. I can't actually dance. I try my best, which I think is all anyone can ask of one person. Adorable. He taps my mask over my nose. Was that a boop? Was that a boop? On my nose, sir? Let's try our best then. Okay, we can dance. He offers me his arm. I like the sound of that. The musicians strike up a tune as we cross onto the dance floor. Ooh, well timed. Oh, look at this! Ah, look at Oleander with the mask. Oh, and it's so shiny, and it's so cute. Oh my gosh, I just love it. Oh, I I love also Blue's robe. Are we gonna... This is really close. You'd be surprised how often a little observation and foreknowledge will go in impressing people. He settles his hand on my waist. I'll take the lead this time. Okay. Oh, he zoomed out, but it's from the chandelier lights. Like, the light reflecting. Oh, it looks so good. The coat, Blue's cloak. Looks so good. What a gentleman. I'll follow your lead and endeavor not to tread on your feet then. I will appreciate the effort. It's just such a good CG. Oh my gosh, I love it. Ugh. And I like all like the rings in his hair. Like it just glistens. Adds an extra oomph to the picture. And the general look about him. Like his appearance. The music plays in earnest, and Oleander quietly prompts me which way I should step for each beat until I pick up the pattern. Our dancing is much simpler than anyone else around us, but we are dancing properly, which is more than I could have said for myself before. So, Vigil, what do you think of this? I never imagined myself at a party like this before. I mean, it's impressive. I understand why so many stories are set during these kinds of fancy parties now. There is something unreal to this kind of festivity, isn't there? Music, indulgence, sex, and beautiful, mysterious strangers. I'd like to read that book. And from the sound of it, you've made some good progress as my assistant. That's a generous assessment. As much as I would prefer you to be flawless from the start, making mistakes early is a good chance to learn. And what do you think? Is this life something you like? I mean, why not? Why not? The life of a merchant's assistant isn't so bad. I think I could come to enjoy this. Oh, so a beautiful outfit and a high-class party are enough to make you think you might enjoy this life? What'll it take to convince you? You're insatiable. You'll just have to keep impressing me. That won't be too hard for you, right? Oh, this back and forth is so good. I'm glad you're beginning to understand. We turn on the dance floor. I suspect Oleander would dance beautifully with a competent partner, but he seems content to float along doing the easiest steps. For a man as relentless in his flirtations as he, Oleander is surprisingly gentle. His hands never hold tighter than they must to lead, and the one on my waist never dips lower. There's even something soft about his posture. He's always been casual, but for the first time, I think he looks comfortable. Does he have background in dancing? Or like his upbringing, he had to dance or learn how to dance? I would love to know. I haven't stepped on your foot yet. I'm impressed. You are better at this than you suggested. I can still step on your foot later. I trust that you'll stay careful. Oh, the dance is over. When the music ends, we retreat to the edge of the dance floor. Vigil, let's talk. How worried should I be? Not worried at all. You are not about to be admonished. Okay. That's a relief. I'd hate to see what you look like when you're being serious. Oh, that'll come soon enough. He pats my shoulder. I just wanted to tell you that tonight has been a pleasure. You're a bright little thing, you know. Okay. I do know. So glad you could see it from behind that mask of yours. I try to put on some imitation of his ego, and he chuckles. I hope you're not becoming too much like me now. Given how much you adore yourself, I thought you liked that sort of thing. He shrugs. One of me is more than enough, I think. I wouldn't want to inflict being me on anyone else. Huh. I don't think he meant to sound so heartfelt just then. Those lazy fools need to develop their own sparkling personality. And he's back. Well, I think I have been earnest enough to last me a year. Back to business. Come along, Vigil. This will be a memorable one. What are we doing? I feel a little strange sense of anticipation building in me. Oleander promising something memorable has, so far, paid off in impressive sights. He takes us back to the entrance of the hall, approaching a member of the staff. I believe Lord Valentine has agreed to meet privately with me.
Of course, sir. The staff member starts walking, and we walk half a step behind them.
Just like that? I know Oleander's distinctive, but even so, I would not expect to just be taken to the lord of this household without some kind of proof. Perhaps he has a closer relationship with the master of this house than he mentioned. We walk back down a familiar hall toward the library. The staff member leads us through the labyrinth, and somehow we do not come across any couples in the midst of private business.
Here you are.
Thank you, Clarity. But Clarity's the one we gave the wine to earlier. And now, Oleander is tossing them a coin. Oleander tosses the staff member a coin. They bow and leave, and Oleander knocks on the door. Maybe the staff member set us up, like gave us a meeting with them, or told Lord Valentine it's someone they know. Lord Valentine, I believe you were willing to speak with me. It's Oleander. Come in, Mr. Oleander. Lord Valentine's office feels like a natural extension of the library. Lord Valentine himself is a surprisingly small presence in the room, though not for lack of trying. He's dressed ornately, sitting at an impressive desk. He nods to us, but does not stand. Strange. I've taken the liberty to order us a bottle of wine. I'm certain you don't mind. Did he? Perhaps while I was off on my own merry adventures. Very good. I could do with some wine. When I threw this party, I thought I would get to enjoy more of a carousing myself. Ah, the terrible weight of being sought after. I hope for the sake of future carousing that fewer people take an interest in you. Lord Valentine scoffs. Oh, pardon me. I forgot to introduce myself properly. I am Oleander, as you well know. I pride myself as a merchant capable of both discretion and trustworthiness. He bows. And this is my assistant, Vigil. I bow.
A pleasure to meet you, Lord Valentine.
The pleasure is all mine. I haven't taken my eyes off you this whole time. And to what do I owe your interest? Are you talking about you couldn't take your eyes off Oleander? Or me? Or both of us? Question mark? Who knows? Oleander slides gracefully into the chair across from Lord Valentine. I stay standing, hovering over his shoulder. Hovering around him like a decoration. I've heard that you might have need of a new merchant contact, and I thought I would put forward the best name I know. Mine. Lord Valentine chuckles. A bold stance. Tell me, how would you live up to it? I feel like both of these men's voices sound the same, so I apologize. If I had a pen and some paper, I would record the details of the meeting plainly. As it stands, I can only just keep up with the rapid conversation between the two men. As ridiculous as they might be, both of them understand trade very well. If I'm right, it's a lucrative deal if we can get it. A knock on the door interrupts the talk. Vigil, if you would. I answer the door and bring in the bottle of wine. This is familiar. I don't say anything as I hand the bottle off to Oleander. If he wants to pretend the wine he brought actually came from Lord Valentine's cellar, that's his business. But why would he do that? Like, so he doesn't have to... Like, but there's no benefit. It'd be one thing if it's like, oh, I bought this wine, but it's actually from the host's cellar. But it's the opposite. Oleander bought this wine, and pretending it's from the cellar. Huh. Lord Valentine opens a drawer for his desk and brings out 3 glasses, short ones for liquor as opposed to wine glasses. Okay, so like little glasses. Not shot glasses though, at least. I don't know. But yeah, that is weird. What's happening? What's happening, Oleander? I'm looking at you right now on my screen. Does the assistant drink, Mr. Oleander? No, she's not one for drinking. Oleander pours a glass for himself and Lord Valentine. He's not wrong, but he could have let me say that for myself. Perhaps I need to give him another nudge to the shins later. I love that Blue just plans that for later. Absolutely. Oleander and Lord Valentine clink their glasses together and drink. Oleander moans satisfied. I love doing business with the lords of the market. You serve the best wines. There's an unusual taste of this one. I'll have to ask where it came from later. Now, where were we? Discussing the man currently causing your trade difficulties. Right. Lord Valentine sounds slightly strained. Oleander is exhausting, but Lord Valentine must not have much stamina. They've barely been going for 10 minutes. If I am to join you in your trade enterprise, I would like to know what you plan to do with your roadblock. We're still deciding. Between what options? Bribery may work, if the roadblock is just interested in lining its own pockets. There are always threats. Huh? Lord Valentine's breathing is getting heavy. Ah, but I know you better than that. You're the sort of person who sees a problem and hires an assassin about it. What? You heard me perfectly well. You're... Oh, that looks like a... Oh, Lord Valentine reaches for his throat. Hush, Blue. All is well. How's it possible for a person to choke on air? Lord Valentine's breath comes in thin, labored heaves. He can't get his voice out. Lord Valentine pounds his desk. Well, look at that. You should be grateful, you know. If I had my way, I'd be killing you very slowly. Oh, so this is the catch. What the fuck is happening? I couldn't believe my luck. Getting a personal invitation to Lord Valentine's estate. No references needed. And he was willing to take a meeting. Oleander stands and pounds the desk himself, leaning over Lord Valentine. Oh, okay. So, this is what I'm thinking has happened. They were just talking about how Lord Valentine was experiencing these roadblocks in his trading route. So this is Lord Valentine's interest to get rid of that roadblock because maybe I think Oleander was the one in charge of the roadblock for whatever reason, but under a different name. Or maybe it was the same name, I don't know. But Lord Valentine was trying to kill Oleander. So before he could do that, and so this is why there's this whole, he got the meeting and is invited to Lord Valentine's party, etc., etc. And before Lord Valentine could do it, Oleander killed him. Right? That makes sense. Or it's the other way around, and Oleander is tired of the roadblock also, but whoever was doing the roadblock, which I think was Lord Valentine or someone who's in charge, who's responsible for Lord Valentine's affairs, was doing the roadblock. So Lord Valentine just kept getting money, but not doing much about the roadblock. And so this is a problem for Oleander because he needs to do particular trading business on that route or whatever. So he killed Lord Valentine. Murder? Out of all the routes. Out of all the routes, I don't even know. I mean, murder's bad. Murder's really bad. I can't condone murder, but I can see the reasoning behind this and why it would fit into the story and the character, like Oleander's motivation to do so. Again, not condoning it, but this is shady business. But again, we are at the marketplace. We're in the underground. We're in the cavern. It's not like the surface. Do people, like, I mean, I guess, like, I'm sure there's, like, police and security, but there surely isn't, like, a governmental level enforcement in the marketplace, really. Which is tough. So maybe you have to take things in your own hands. Which, again, not condoning murder, but I can see where this is coming from the plot motivation and character motivation. So anyways, that's a long side note. Greedy old bastards, like you, never change. You're the same as you ever were. He spits on the desk. Just die already. If I don't get to savor it, at least make it quick. Lord Valentine stands unsteadily. He looks straight at me, one hand outstretched. I'm watching a man die. I can't move. I can barely breathe myself. My lungs squeeze tight with fear. I like how the silhouettes move forward. It's nice movement piece. He collapses, arms still outstretched towards me. I'm going to throw up. I do, retching violently and making a mess of the beautiful cloak I was only given hours before. Oleander's hand is gentle on my back, running his palm in a circle over my spine. Oh well, you're certainly not about to forget this. I'm sorry you had to see that, Blue. Unfortunately, I needed you here. I'm trembling. It's not just about Lord Valentine lying dead on the floor. How are you still breathing? The wine you made me pick up, it was poisoned, but you drank it. I have had a lot of time to prepare for this moment, including developing a strong stomach and high tolerances for darker things. If I look up, I will have to see his mask. And I don't want to. But I don't want him to think I'm vulnerable, in case he tries something with me. There he is. Unreadable. You are unreadable in this moment, sir. What's happening? You also have great muscles from what I can see. I'm sorry, this is not the appropriate moment to be saying that. This is so scary. I know this is difficult for you right now. He cups my cheek through my hood. But right now, I need you to play along with me. You were good at that, Blue. Lord Valentine just died suddenly. He and I both drank from the wine in his cellar. That's all you need to say. I'm trembling in earnest. Shock from seeing someone die. Fear that I'll be next. My empty stomach churns. I'm in hell. I have to scream now. Cover your ears if you need to. He turns to the door and stumbles towards it. Help! For the love of the lunar god, we need help. Lord Valentine just died. Help! Sorry, that was me. Oh, that's it? That's... Good end. You've learned the rules of the game. Is there a best end, or is it just a good end? Okay. Dun, dun. Thank you. Okay, I need to think. Okay, now I'm officially done. Because I need to think about who's my favorite out of the four. Because I saw that Rotten Raccoon Studios on Twitter posted a voting poll about who is your favorite love interest or route character, whoever. I would argue that Blue is my favorite character. I love Blue. Blue in all of these routes has been fantastic. But obviously this is about the love interest / characters. I think right now, okay, definitely, okay. As much as I am shocked to see this, I was somewhat expecting something, obviously, since again this is a darker themed, mature visual novel. And this is beautiful in terms of just like chapter 1. Like I like the stories. It's very dark and serious and intriguing. And that is to say that even with the murder that I witnessed, that Blue witnessed, I still like Oleander. Like, that should put automatically in a normal setting, in normal circumstances, I should put Oleander absolutely to the bottom of my list. Unfortunately, this is not, and fortunately, this is not a normal circumstance. So for whatever reason, I'm super, like, maybe it is because he reads us very charming and sociable, but also he's kind of like, he's doing what he needs to do to survive in the marketplace as a tradesman, as a business person, you know? And I don't understand the full context of why that had to happen. Did he murder that man? Yes, he did. Absolutely. But does that put him at the bottom of my ranking? Absolutely not. So, that's just to say that Oleander is not the bottom of my list. If you watch the other parts, I will have to say that Sirius is at the bottom of my list, which is actually really surprising given that just from the character designs alone, I was really interested in seeing Sirius, and I don't know, it's like the long hair with like the gold and the blue themes and like on the clothing and everything. I think also similarly, Oleander I was interested in because of the blues and stuff. All of the characters look very nice because I really like all of the metallic accents and the jewelry and the accessories. That's very fun. I think maybe out of all of them, Kier was towards the bottom because his character design doesn't really have like the bling. And like, I mean, I still like he's at the bottom, but he's not really at the bottom. He's just like right under like the other three. Francesco I also was very intrigued about, character design wise. So yes, that is enough dilly-dallying from me. I will just have to say, I think my rank, I think my ranking is Francesco, then Kier, then Oleander, then Sirius. But that is all to say that Francesco is just slightly above the others, and then Kier's just slightly above the others, and then Oleander is slightly above the others, and then Sirius also just at the bottom, because, like, you know, relatively speaking, that's how it works. So yeah, thank you for joining me on this adventure which is Obscura, Chapter 1, The Descent. I hope you enjoyed this. This is actually a pretty long video from what I'm seeing, but I really wanted to get through it and see what laid ahead. But now I'm done, and I can't wait for Chapter 2 and 3 in the future. I read from the studio, the game developers, that Chapter 2 will be for purchase, and I think that if you purchase it early enough, there is an incentive there's an incentive in that you will get Chapter 3 for free also. I loved hearing that. I really want to buy this game once Chapter 2 is out, and once that's ready, I'm very intrigued. Will Blue get her lunar ichor? That is the main question. All of this nonsense, I feel like, also let me just add, I feel like, you know, in the beginning it was like, yes, I need to get the lunar ichor, I feel like the first two routes, Sirius's and Kier's routes, they, to me, read as more like we're focusing on the lunar ichor goal. Like, for Sirius, it was like, okay, whatever, the priest is doing his priest thing, kind of not used to whatever he's doing, but, like, I'm going to just indulge it because lunar ichor. Similarly, with Kier, we get abducted, in a sense, and we are basically have to just, like, work so that we can get lunar ichor. Great. And I feel like it was very clear throughout Chapter 1 routes for both of them that was the goal for Blue. With Francesco, I feel like it wasn't talked about as much. Like, there was a little bit of like, oh yes, like Francesco, obviously more about the guilt that like Blue felt, given that the reason why she approached Francesco was about, you know, getting lunar ichor and maybe using his connections and wealth to do so. So like that, like the order, so like that felt like, but it felt a little less like I was focusing, like Blue was focusing on lunar ichor. And then lastly with Oleander, I feel like we barely talk about it. Like we do in the beginning, like when we get hired by, like when we say hire me and like all that stuff, but like I feel like we don't say it as much. I mean, like maybe it's just not explicitly said, and that's what I'm kind of picking up on, which I can also appreciate, because I felt like I was getting more lost into like the route and the story and the characters a bit more than just like, okay, the lunar ichor. And I think that could be reflective of like, oh, um, you know, this is how complicated it gets in like the marketplace, where maybe in my first videos I was saying like, you know, how long do people stay in the marketplace, how long does it take for people to, you know, achieve their goals, and like how do you like end up like living in the marketplace for like such a long time. Like I get that maybe some of your goals might take a longer time, but not like, you know, there seems to be a lot of people who end up living in the marketplace, um, who initially may not have thought that they would have done so because of their initial goals. But maybe now it's just going to take a lot longer to get to those goals. But anyways, those are just some of my observations. I've really enjoyed Obscura. Please play it if you would like to. There's so many other endings to be had, so I would encourage that, because it's an awesome game. I'm ready to see what the game developers will bring forth in the future, and I'm also gonna play more of these endings off screen, offline. So, thank you so much for watching me play. I hope you are having a good week, good day, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!